Literally. Justin, I don't know if this thing. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just see. Maybe since I'm talking smack about myself now, it's going to work. Maybe since hey Akoya, like I'm literally I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore, cause like I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore. Cause literally every single time I've talked about it, my phone just Okay, but the thing is, like, this is happening on 4G LTE, and this is also in the same situation where, like, my tweets weren't sending. Like, straight up, it's like, oh, Twitter can't pull up tweet, Twitter can't tweet, Twitter can't send tweet. Oh, failure to send tweet, and it was like, okay. Anyway, I made a nice little succinct tweet about the situation on my Twitter. Um, I have a lot of retweets, I'm sorry. But if you scroll back on my Twitter, you'll see it somewhere. Okay, Brit, that was the main rant. NCTs give me so much anxiety because like I love them to death. I think so many of them are so talented. Even if they aren't that talented, I still think they're unique people who are interesting to follow slash see what they do at the very least. But I've seen them perform live like one and a half times. How like what am I tuning into? 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. ABC on channel. Like what am I in English? In English? Like girl, you haven't even sung in Korean. How are you gonna sing in English? Like, cause I'm not worried. Mark and Hetchan, I'm not worried about because they're dreamies, and dreamies are what? The future. And the future is when? Now. So, like, they're good. I've seen them perform live multiple times. The rest of y'all, like, one and a half performances of Touch? I, I mean, hi Alejandra. We're discussing our anxieties about NCT's US Day. Now they're performing for Mickey Mouse's birthday, and it's like, sis, that's cute, but like, like, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm going to come out and say it. Literally, the only modern, you know what I mean, current, newish, whatever, K-pop group, Korean act, period, for this generation. So we get what I'm talking about. The only that kind of act that has performed in the US as of late is BTS. So whether we like it or not, whether it's good or not, your performance is going to be compared to BTS's for people who care, which is already a small portion of the people who are going to watch you. And then of the people who care, they've already been fed all of this army propaganda about how BTS is da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, they're Korean, so they're like different from all the other K-pop groups. They breathe air and then exhale CO2 so that they're different from all. Hey Tracy, oh my gosh, they like take dumps. That's another way they're different from all the K-pop groups. They're like real people. They like cry sometimes, I think. They eat food. They like burgers. Like, girl, they've already like people who are just newly interested in K-pop, Korean, whatever themes. they're prepped and primed with like army propaganda, and then they've probably watched a 127 music video. Let's give it benefit of the doubt. So they've seen a 127 music video, and they're like, oh, this song kind of bumps or whatever. And they're like, they're not quite BTS. But hey, Lami, but like, okay, I heard that a few of the members are involved in the music writing process. So they're also kind of different or whatever, like 80% of this current generation of idols. But so they're willing to give you a lot in general. Like, I feel like a lot of K-pop fans, including ARMYs, are willing to give NCT a chance. But how willing is NCT to follow through and like give them a chance to stay? Like, girl, like, so they might be looking forward to this performance because they'll say it. Because usually for music shows, the propaganda that we usually give, the excuse that we usually give for groups not singing live is they literally do like 5 tapings of the same performance for each show. So that's like every week they're basically doing like it's borderline like Broadway stuff. Like that's the theme that's most similar to what I can compare it to. Essentially, it's like they're literally, if they sing live, they're going to have to sing live 5 or however many times they need to shoot the performance for them to edit it, for them to now show it, and then you need to multiply that by all the shows that they perform on. So it's like, okay, people might take that excuse. You brought your narrow behinds to these United States to perform on prime time, late night. I know that's an oxymoron. I know that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. Jimmy Kimmel Live is a show that you watch if you like watching performances in the US. Y'all brought your narrow behinds to the US to lip sync? Are you after BT? So do you see where I am? Like, I want them to succeed, but I'm not sure if their team wants them to succeed as much as I want them to. And even if they do, I'm not sure if they're willing to do what they need to do to make sure they succeed. Because I know they have it in them. I know for a fact, literally, I went back and I watched SNSD performance just so I could like, wait, not even BTS. Like, let's keep the rest of the Korean industry out of it. Let's keep the rest of the world out of it. Just SM. These girls didn't just sing live. The backtrack was a whole 10th member, but they still sang live. They did a remix with a dance break before the actual dance. If they did that today, they would have backcheered the whole place. Like, everyone would have been a freaking so-on. And I remember back then, I didn't care if you were a Blackjack, if you were a Tiara stan, I forgot what their name is. If you were a K-pop fan, you watched that performance. We all suited and booted and took our behinds to the freaking old folks home of late night TV and watched them slay live in living color, and we were shaken. And you know what SM did they fumbled the ball. I remember someone asked, oh, are you going to are they literally just coming to perform on Jimmy Kimmel and then they're going back? And it's like, they did it before, unless they're going to go to an early morning, unless they're performing on Good Morning LA too, in which case they'll match SNSD. SD literally performed on Letterman, and then they performed on Live with Kelly. And that was it. And actually, a lot of people like to group it with Gangnam Style, and I feel like, I'm pretty sure that performance was before Gangnam Style, if you go back and look at the dates. Because, like, I saw clips of their interviews and stuff from like early 2012. So like this was even before people like knew about Korea like that. So like they were already halfway there. And then SM was just like, Okay, that's it. And it's like, what did you do with that? But like in NCT's case, I'm not even sure if we can get that. I don't even know if you can perform like what 60% of the original track, let alone a remix. So with 10 niggas, like you have 10 people, how can you not sing like maybe if you gave more than 3 people lines, anyway, let me read comments. I'm literally just ranting. Okay. Hey Chloe, I'm just ranting. Taeyong's mullet looks like a freaking $15.99 30% off clearance synthetic wig. Chloe, NCT127 is going to be performing live in living color. I believe, is it October 3rd or October 4th? On Jimmy Kimmel Live. So next week, NCT127 is going to perform their new single, their smash single, as the Disney people wrote, on Jimmy Kimmel Live in concert. So they're gonna have a little, look, I'm guesstimating it's a situation like BTS's theme, and Devana is actually on the wait list. So let's all gather around in prayer for her so she can get in there. Dream gives us shiny teas. They give us, I don't want to say it, but they were baby TVXQ. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not saying that they are baby TVXQ, but they were baby TVXQ, and like I don't feel like that's an entire lie. Brit, I don't understand that. Like that with my own children I carried for 9 months each, delivered no epidural. They released the music video, and then they released the actual digital, the actual physical, like 5 years later. For what? Like I said in the previous live streams, and citizens don't do anything productive. So we're not going to stream the music video if that's what you're hoping for. If that's the logic behind the technique, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Okay. You get 3 gold stars. Ree said the problem is that SM sees anything but massive success as a failure, which is why they fumbled the freaking ball at the end of 2nd gen, beginning of 3rd gen. Because if they had brought SNSD on a tour, do you know how many people would have showed? I would have been fighting hoes for P1 because of that remix on Letterman. If they said a week after the Letterman performance, hey, these hoes are coming back on tour, be sure to book this day, clear out your schedule because tickets are releasing, I would have been there. If they had done Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Texas, and like maybe Atlanta, but like even just Texas at that, in 2012, I tweeted, I paid $120+ to see VIX, a group that I didn't actually know. And when I say I didn't know them, I literally just vaguely remembered seeing their name being mentioned a few times on Twitter. And then I had to like binge watch their music videos the day before because like I didn't actually know. I literally did not know them. I just knew that they were a K-pop group and they were coming to the city I was living in, and tickets were still available. And a lot of my K-pop friends like them. So they must at least be tolerable. So let me just go to a K-pop concert. This was 2013. Yeah, 2013. if SNSD came in 2012, literally, and they did a full-out tour, maybe they won't be doing Yankee Stadium or whatever, but they did nice sizable venues throughout the US, covered the major regions. Every single K-pop fandom would have showed out simply because A, it's a K-pop group, B, it's a K-pop group that you actually know. Even if you don't like SNSD, even if you hate SNSD, you can at least GG your way into the Genie leg kick dance. So there you have it. Because Big Bang came to the US, but they literally did 4 dates in Los Angeles, then a date in Las Vegas, and then 3 dates in New York. I liked Big Bang a whole lot, but like, girl, y'all hadn't even really been releasing music in Korea like that for like years. And then they did Alive, and it was like, okay, Alive was great, but like, girl, I don't have Los Angeles money, so here we are. But SM really could have been ahead of the curve if they would have just had some sense and weren't so freaking like self-conscious and all of that stuff. Yes, it is in fact next week. Do I need a ticket? I don't live in Los Angeles, so yeah. And I don't know if they're like traumatized by BoA, even though I don't remember BoA leaving like Los Angeles city limits when she was supposedly making her American debut, like even then. Alyssa, they are performing at Mickey's 90th Spectacular. I don't even know what that means, but we're going to Disneyland. Mark's English is, you know what? Y'all are just hating because he's a young prodigy. And he just thinks different. He is different. So, yeah. Hey, LaTanya. We're stressed. Okay, since LaTanya's here, let me, quick tangent. Okay, so Jungkook, now that they're allowing them to use their Twitter, Jungkook said the last song he listened to or whatever was Teacher by Pretty Much. And if Pretty Much don't hit these niggas up while they're in LA twice, you already see me. Like, it's not that I've stopped listening to Pretty Much, but I'm tired of the stress. Like with NCT, it feels like a productive stress. It feels like we're doing something, kind of, a little bit, maybe. With Pretty Much, what? Okay, if you don't know, they just released Solita featuring Rich the Kid. I don't know who that is because I'm almost 25, but literally, it sounds like a potential song of the summer, and they're releasing it damn near the end of homecoming season. Actually, it's probably the middle of homecoming season, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Why are we hearing this now? Why wasn't this released during the summer? Or better yet, at the beginning of the summer, so if it's a grower, it has time to grow throughout the summer. Hey Tay, I saw that, and I'm a little okay. Assam, you're international now. Free shipping to the US. Oh, okay. No, okay, but Lami, I'm not joking. I had no idea who Vix was, but I had theoretically, I technically had enough money to buy the tickets, so I just bought them and I was like, cool, whatever. By the time I left the show, I was like, okay, so what's the fandom name? What's our color? Who was that? Who was that? Like, I was like, I'm a Starlight. I don't care. Like, I was a hardcore Starlight until like the end of 2013. But yeah, like, but that's what I mean. Does NCT 127 in particular, do they really put on shows that do that to people? Now, if you're attracted to young men ages 18 to like 23, maybe. But if you're mainly concerned with great music performances, hey, Carrington. Okay, let me see. Oh, wow, I'm way behind. Justin, I'm talking about back in 2013 when they had their first fan meeting tour, I think it was. It was like Milky Way Galaxy something, like showcase. It was their first showcase tour. Brit, you and I are the same as far as XOL stress. Tracy, that was mean. Alyssa, honestly, NCT's concept is awesome. I don't think it's really that big of an issue because I don't think that many people or that many units are really going to be promoting like that. If anything, I think it'll be like 127 and maybe you, which would get confusing, but like they'll live. But at the same time, this is so weird. This video is going perfectly fine now that NCT is not in the... Okay, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Alyssa, I'm honestly, as soon as I graduate, I'm ready. I'm honestly ready to like part-time as management if they need it, which they seem to. Cause like, I refuse to believe Simon Cowell is like actually involved with them at all because it doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. My first K-pop concert was Wonder Girls in 2010, which I feel was pivotal in like turning me from like I listened to Big Bang and 21 person to like a K-pop stan. Which is why, so like this is what I mean when like people don't understand, like people don't understand when we get into like how much significance does the second gen have with like US K-pop success, is like second gen has such sentimental value at the very least for like second gen stans, not just because that's what got them into K-pop, but like the same way people feel about BTS and it's like, oh, their lyrics, blah, 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 blah. Literally, Ring Ding Dong saved lives. Like, all of that stuff. Like, that's a lot of people's adolescence. That's what got a lot of people through a lot of things. Like, I'm not sure if it actually made it to an episode or not, but like, Devonna can tell you about how Sherlock got her through things. Like, so it carries that weight for those fans as well. In addition to it being like the first K-pop that a large scale of Americans were consumed. Like, how do you think we get the K-Con to... Anyways. Oh my gosh, what am I even talking about? I'm just... And this is why, like, I get business is invaluable, business sense, all of that stuff, but I feel like you need to have people who are passionate about what they're doing, because first of all, I like K-pop because I love boy bands. So, like, the boy band is an institution, but it's like a genre unto itself. So, like, you can't just throw people together and then push them out like that. Like, and honestly, I really feel like Simon Cowell really knew what he was doing when he made Pretty Much. So, like, the stuff is there. It's just the follow through is... What? Literally, like, they're from like each region of North America. What else? From all these different backgrounds, different looks, but all still like pass the paper bag test. Like, he knew what he was doing when he made them, but the follow through is trash. Like, it hurts my feelings. Alyssa, I really don't know why they don't come to Florida. I guess I feel like a lot of it is done according to the Korean population. I guess. I don't know. BoA is second gen. So, like, BoA, TVXQ are like the very, very beginning of second gen. I don't even think it's their background as a group from SM. I just think it's the fact that SM is the one running the show. Because SM is just a double-edged sword. Because they'll get you premium stuff, but they consistently fumble the ball, and I don't understand why. I've heard TVXQ and them referred to as like generation 1.5, which kind of makes sense because I feel like even a lot of like second gen groups were kind of like not looking up to, but like, you know what I mean, to TVXQ. I feel like I feel like Boa kind of functions as second gen because I know a lot of people who got into K-pop through her Japanese stuff, which was around the same time as like TVXQ's Japanese stuff. So like, I don't know, I guess for international fans, she feels second gen. So I guess it's kind of like a Shiny situation. Shiny's like kind of the tail end of second. Shiny and FX, they're like the tail end of second gen, so they often feel like generation 2.5, like the Sistar era. Anonymous is blocked. Aquasha, I'm like you, but I'm a history person, so I get that like most fans aren't like me. I just don't get the indignance with which people are like, nah, he mattered before X, Y, and Z. It's like, did their parents not give birth to them? Like, I'm confused. Did they not feed them for the first like 5 years of their lives before they could like figure out how, like, how does this work? How do people just spring out of nowhere and like I said in the last stream, infrastructure so it was 09 or 08, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, NCT would, I feel like it'd be really awkward because it would force people to really like get into like institutions of K-pop, if you know. Like, I feel like their story is more like, it's the story of SM essentially, because you can see through the years SM attempting to do an NCT and now they finally are doing an NCT. And they're like super experimental, which is also something SM is kind of known for. So the stories are definitely going to be different. Justin, I'm honestly really curious what isn't fourth gen. Like I don't like people are looking up to BTS now, so like I feel like if you're looking up to BTS, that's a whole new generation. Not because BTS isn't worth looking up to, it's just like BTS just recently stopped being rookies in my head. So it's like, okay. Yeah, like Stray Kids, like anyone who, 2017 I feel like is definitely like fourth gen. At the very least, generation 3.5. I have not gotten into Stray Kids yet. I need to check out SF9. Okay, I feel like I had more to talk about. Oh, now since we're on the discussion, on the topic of generations and stuff, I distinctly remember, Because every single time you talk about second gen, oh my gosh, pave the way. Someone's like, oh my gosh, your lines are so cranky. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. But I distinctly remember, like, on like oodles and doodles of SNSD articles in the comments, someone would be like, SES and then first gen stands. Oh my gosh, second gen girl groups don't have anything on first gen girl groups. They had live vocals and blah blah blah. They were so much better than second gen. And then like I don't really remember second gen stands coming for them at all. But maybe that's just selective memory or whatever. But I always, it's nothing new, but I literally sound like first gen stands did to second gen groups now. Cause like literally just going back to watch the SNSD performance, like we were shaken, but we weren't really that shaken. Cause the standards were above the floor. Like it's I hate to say it, but standards have fallen drastically. Cause like SNSD wasn't even really known for like killer performances or anything. That's not a diss at them. It's just like generally you would expect an SNSD performance to be good to like meh, you know? Whereas nowadays we're like shaken to our core if we get a good performance. And it's like mm-mm. Who else debuted in 2013? I mean, Top Dog, now known as Zeno T, is there. Were they 20? I feel like they were 2013. I feel like Aquasha would have been really gung-ho about first gen stan culture. Hey, Minyan. Hey, Rockstarry. I don't... Current stans are just annoying. I mean, prayer circle for Zeno T though. Oh, hey Letitia. I just got finished doing my usual thing of like being really angry and ranting, but I'm probably gonna start up again just cause someone's gonna bring something up and I'm going to be angry. So, yeah, welcome to the party. Honestly, people hate armies so much. And like, I remember when armies were born, so like, they've been annoying the entire time. But I honestly feel like it's not right to act like they're like, what, like, exotic level. When like exotics were basically like the last, like, fandoms to exhibit like second gen stan culture of like stalking to the point of like just manifesting in these dudes' hotel rooms, collecting biological evidence, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah. I haven't really heard about a whole lot of that from armies. But I guess the thing that makes armies uniquely annoying is their size now. But even before they were like this big, it's just like armies are like very committed and organized. So like regardless of their size, you're gonna feel their impact. So if they're being if like any portion is being annoying, you're going to feel the impact kind of. That's my theory. And then on top of that, armies are prone to being pretentious, a la VIPs. So it's like you have like kind of the best slash worst of like Cassies and VIPs all in one, and it's like, shut up. Oh, yeah, I haven't been noticing because I've literally been wearing buns, but it's like bra, whatever, length now. It's cool. I think EXO, okay. It was so funny because everyone was like, wow, this self-read, and like, it feels like SM's been committed to making sure it's a self-read ever since. I feel like VIP. Whoo, let's thank the Lord for his saving grace. I was about to say like a really very, very specific theme because of VIPs I know in real life. But I feel like VIPs are like at work trying to pick up extra shifts so they can go all out for their kid's like third birthday party that they probably won't remember. So I literally they named us N Citizens like a day after I decided, okay, I'm an NCT fan. And like I've never like I literally love everything about NCT except their track record of live performances. But that's something we can work on. Like all you need to do, just practice the song, practice your half a line on the treadmill, we're Gucci. But like literally from their like I even like neo culture technology. I thought that was I didn't know if I had been into K-pop for too long, but I thought that was like a really cool name. Like, oh, that's interesting. And then they named us N Citizens, and I was like, girl, all I have to do is change like what? 2 letters in my name. Black and Citizen, you already know what it is. Like, this is my home in the 3rd gen or whatever. Cassiopeia, where TVXQ stands. Hi, Benjamin. I I feel so bad saying it, but like I'm starting I don't really care for solo artists that much. Yes, they are going on the gram. Like, BTS is going for world domination, and I don't remember a thing they said in that interview, TBH. Hi, sincerely. Dream is the superior unit. I feel like Dream is the superior unit is like the N-citizen version of Stan Luna. Like one person says it, then everyone else just like, Dream is the superior unit. Dream is the superior unit. Big Dipper, yes we did. That's what we've been discussing. A lot of us, I can't speak for all of us, I'm not sure, but I myself, I'm slightly terrified because I don't know if they're going to sing live or not, and they don't have a whole lot of practice singing live at high stakes performances. So we're not exactly sure what we're gonna get, and it's going to be like, this can go either really well, whatever, or it can go pretty bad. And I feel like each one is like, has an even probability because they're going to be compared to BTS. And yeah. I mean, the show is called Jimmy Kimmel Live. I'm not sure if it's going to be broadcasted live, but they're supposed to be live what I mean live performances is like the song plays and you sing and the mic is hot and we hear you singing to the song, not we hear what you recorded for iTunes while you do the dance, because this isn't America's Best Dance Crew, it's NCT 127 performing a song. But that's neither here nor there. Honestly, that's the other thing I wanted to... That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Why did we... I love Jungkook. I think he's precious. I don't know why anyone wouldn't love him. But why did we add his high-pitched, squeaky-ass voice to NCT? 3/4 of our vocalists have high-pitched ass voices. What purpose does he serve in the... What seems... It's supposed to be the soul unit, but evidently that's your unit that goes everywhere. Why didn't we add 10? That way we had NCTU, The Seventh Sense, the single NCT song that all K-pop fans, every person who's ever interacted with K-pop, like, that is your saving grace. Like, I don't think SM understands. Like, for international stands, The Seventh Sense is what makes people hold their mouth a little bit before disrespecting NCT. So you would have that lineup built into 127. So wherever 127 goes, they can give you OG NCTU The Seventh Sense with some enhancements. And then they can also give you 10, the pop boy we've all been waiting for. Like, I'm like, New Heroes. How is that not on NCT 2018? How? Which way? Where? Like, what's the point of releasing that as a station when it's like that? That was like US top 40 done right. do you know how hard it is to like fit in but also stand out? You hit it right on the head with that one, and you're just like, oh, whatever. By the time everyone was already suffering from NCT fatigue. So like, I don't, doesn't Lay have some Korean songs to sing? All offense, like, girl. And I don't want to hear anything from Lay stans if the rest of EXO fandom isn't streaming or isn't going that hard for him. Because, like, girl, you haven't been... Are you actually in the group? Are you really? Like, can you tell me? Can you let us know that way? Like, because... And I think the thing with BTS was, like, the way the audio channels or whatever were set up. Because, like, I remember watching At Home on ABC 13. It sounded processed or something. Like, it looked like the singers had really heavy backtrack and or they were lip syncing, and then the rappers were rapping live. But from people who were there, they said they heard everyone's breath and like breathing and all of that stuff. So I think it was a matter of that. Justin said NCT gonna collab with Azalea Banks for 7 Cents remix. Honestly, fun fact, I was whatever an Azalea Banks stan, and pretty AB liked that picture of John, Mark, and Taeyong in the studio with that like production team. So that isn't too far-fetched. I mean, it is, but dude, like that's a big stage, and literally, like, even if other like K-pop groups have performed in America, only one other K-pop group has done that show, has done late night in this current era, and that's BTS, and they rocked it live with breath and panting and all of that. So that's what you're going to be compared to. So if you aren't going to do at least 75% of that, you're gonna get roasted. And like the biggest fandom in the general fandom is going to be a driving force behind that, and rightly so. I mean, rightly so is debatable, but like, girl, who asked you? Black on Black is hot garbage. Like I said in the last live, Jungkook should have been used to anchor a new unit. Because we're still in the phase of the NCT collective, the NCT project, where we can launch new units. Because as far as the general public is concerned, NCT is NCT. Sometimes they see little ass kids. Sometimes they see like a weird dude with like 4 friends. And then sometimes they see that weird dude with like 10 friends, whatever. NCT is NCT. So we're still in the stage where we can launch new NCTs. And it's just part of the package once people get on board. Like, what? 10's name is 10. Why is he not the 10th member of 127, the truly global unit? That way, wherever at 127 goes, we have the dream in a dream. We have the seventh sense. We have new heroes. We have baby don't like I said, I love Jungkook, but what does he bring? Aside from a boss nigga one hate-less boss, which is like, okay, like, I feel like Jungkook really should have been for Korea. 127 is obviously not just for Korea, so they should have made another unit centered around like Jungkook and then some of the Dreamies and then I don't know who else, but like that's what it should have been. Lami, that's exactly what I mean. Like, it's like already Taeil and Doyoung, that's a redundant ass vocal line. Like, okay, we get it. Like, you have a high pitched voice and you like probably listen to like a few R&B songs in your lifetime. Cool. Like, we don't need three niggas going, ah! It like, what does that do for us? What? When a whole headchan is there and he's graduating from Dream next year. I hate to say it, but I really feel like there's no actual room for Jungkook. Like, girl, Haechan is there going, ooh, like, he is not an ooh vocalist, okay? He is a star. He was born a star. It's just for us to get on board with him. So, like, I really don't get it. Win-Win is a visual if I've ever seen one. He's a star. If they don't use him, and like they know, I feel like SM knows that. They know that in their spirit. Like Win-Win is that guy. I feel like that's why they keep putting him in units even though they don't use him for anything at all. Just because they don't want him to run off to China because they know he has yuan to make at the very least. At the very least. He has mad yuan to make. So I'm fighting and possibly suing in an international court of law if they put Mark in NCT China. Okay, what have they been replying to random Western artists? I haven't been on Twitter as much as I usually have. Oh! Nana said, SM is really trying to tell the world that BTS isn't the chosen ones from Korea. Their arrogance is showing. They should have sent someone else. Who should have sent someone else? I feel like SM, I had a theory that SM waits for someone else to prime the US to like be paying attention to K-pop, and then they just like slip and act in, just. But that wasn't even true for SNSD, because I think they came before Gangnam Style popped off, so. Sincerely, I feel like the first thing I thought when I like saw the Jimmy Kimmel thing was like, girl, can we have a concert? I want to say, can you have a tour? But you hoes haven't even had a concert in Korea, so like, literally stuff just happens out of nowhere, and I'm so confused. But and the thing with NCT that's really weird is like they're pretty popular. They're just not BTS level, which I guess especially for an SM group, if you're not number one, you're not anything. So, and I feel like a lot of people operate in that like mindset, especially with SM groups. So there's this like, I don't know, propensity, I don't know if that's the right word, but like tend to just go for like the biggest thing possible, and it's like, girl, you could have a tour. You won't be playing freaking City Field, but you could have a tour. You could have a fan meet tour. Let international fans really get to know you like you did in freaking Bangkok. Johnny is your classic all-American boy. So he's really, I feel like he's like pretty good for basically any like English language PR interviews, interactions, things like that. What really could have done what? Yeah, like Doyoung and Taeil already sound super similar to be in the same group. But like you can kind of distinguish a little bit. I'm not sure, I can't articulate it, but you can. Doyoung and like Jungkook essentially kind of sounds like Diet Doyoung right now, and it's like that's great, but like I'm not sure why we need both in the same group permanently. Like, girl, I don't know. Chris, I'm gonna support him. Like, I'm gonna support him. I just feel like, girl. Win-win is an like, there's so many things we can do with 127 that we just aren't doing. And SM, girl, I need you to start doing it. Cause you only have but so much time. Cause new groups keep coming out. Like, girl, you're already past the rookie stage. Like you're still kind of like functionally rookies or whatever. So you're cute, but like girl, we can't become EXO part 2 without a growl, without a monster. Like girl. Aquasha is now banned from the chat. I can't wait until NCT China, cause that's just, oh girl, if we can get XOM greatness without the drama, the sky's the limit. Hashtag limitless. I feel like it would either be Taeyong, Mark, 10, or Jaehyun. I don't know why there's an English version of regular. Like I don't know. Like I don't even know what that, like what does that mean? What are you doing? Like, and the thing that's like nerve-wracking about it is like you're not giving us a chance to tell you which one. Like you're not giving us a chance to let you know if regular is good for like US television. You're just like, hey girl, we're coming out with an album. A week before we're going to perform the English version, just so you know. I feel like Lucas has... I feel like Lucas is a great personality. Like, I completely understand why he is there. His rapping... I feel like he has a lot of work to do. Tim coming through with the good questions on the rumored Wendy John Legend collab. That's cute or whatever, I guess. I'm honestly not surprised, but it's like okay, so I was trying to look for like Red Velvet singing live after like 2015, but like these girls, literally their voices are so darn US, like why don't they sing live? Like literally Soge and Wendy's voices are so magnificent. Wendy, why don't you shut the fuck up? Like what? Why did you say it a second time? Like, we were already, like, giving you a chance. We let you slide without an apology, even though you grew up in Canada and you make sure to, oh my gosh, why are we saying lucky when it's rookie? Girl, bitch, because you're in Korea. Anyway. And then you said again. Why? Her voice is so beautiful. But I can't support like that because hey, Toki Star. Okay, the snippets of the new album. Regular side sounds kind of boring as of right now. Irregular side, my van is the only thing that really like caught my attention and gave me that NCT feeling. But hopefully half of the songs are like 5 songs in one, as per usual. So yeah. Freeze. Who's real? Nobody else black in hair, so who's the different one? Nobody else black in hair, so who's the special one? That's what I hear when I hear Black on Black. Give you a little insight to my mind. Monster or Growl? Probably Monster. Han, Brunana, I wish SM would just have some sense for once. Did you guys see that tweet from SM Town Global? NCT 127 will be performing at Mickey's 90th Spectacular as the only Korean guest invited. Girl, a 90-year-old mouse supposedly asked you to perform your yet to be released smash hit. Can you calm down? Just a little, like, can you have a tour? That's what I really want. Can you have a tour? Can you have a tour? Can you do that first before you say, only Korean guests invited? They're going to be performing they're probably going to perform regular Cherry Bomb, Touch. Yeah, at least those 3. Because it's going to be like a concert theme like BTS did. I mean, SM was running Mickey Mouse Club Korea, so I guess they have that Disney Connect or whatever. Yeah, sure as hell isn't coming out for Mickey Mouse's 90th. So Monstax is probably busy. So, and that isn't to say those are the first people you would really call, and NCT is just a last resort. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, NCT just be doing some stuff. So it's really not that surprising. It's just like before a tour, like, girl, like, we appreciate that it's free, but like, can you have a tour? Can you, like, we're begging you to take our money. Like, do you... Johnny better not rap. You know what I love about Touch so much? They utilize Johnny in the perfect way. In the way that I have no idea why K-pop groups don't do, actually I do, because they do like ABDC level choreo, and half the time they're barely singing live anyway. But like, why don't K-pop groups harmonize? You already have like 30 people in the group. You're like rolling 15 deep in a group, but not only are you like not singing live for your one line, you're not harmonizing. And it's like, why are you even with other people on a song if you're not going to harmonize? That's the one thing a group can do that a soloist cannot. You can harmonize as one act. You can harmonize with each other, yet cool, whatever, yeah, and it's like, you know, you can maximize the lines you sing if y'all all sing at once, not just all singing at once, but all singing at once and different notes. Oh my gosh, like that part in the second verse of Touch is so like, it's so good, yet I really don't know why they put Korean version of Comeback. I feel like Chain should have been first in line for a Korean version, cause it does what Fire Truck attempts to do, but it succeeds across the board. So he is lead rapper, dancer, something else. Whistle like a missile. Love Scenario, because I have ears. Duh, 10 in NCT China. Californian Freaks. That was the thing that got me. Like, it always shocks me how popular NCT is, because as a fandom, N-Citizens don't really do anything significant at all, really. But as soon as these dudes appear, we just manifest and we're knucking and bucking and ready to fight. And I'm like, girl, how are you so freaking buck when you like, we're nowhere on the charts, we're nowhere on rankings, we're nowhere everywhere, yet you're fighting bitches. Like, who gave you the right to act crazy when you don't even do the like one beneficial thing of crazy fans? It's like, you stream like crazy, you buy like crazy, blah 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 like crazy. You don't do that, but you want to fight people. Like, oh. Anyway, see, like, that's where like me and SM were different. Like, I get that SM allows people to violate their artists because they pay and they're like good for business or whatever. But like, and citizens aren't. So like, why are you letting people like bum rush these dudes every freaking where, push people all over the place when they ain't buying this? Like, you're not streaming like that. So like, Justin, they harmonize a bit on their tracks, but when you see them on stage, first of all, they're not even singing on stage most of the time, and then if they do happen to sing that one time on stage, they're surely not harmonizing. And it's like, girl, you've trained for how many years? What did they train you to do? Because I know, I said it before, I'll say it again. I know they didn't train Johnny with like saying, hey, you need to make sure you're ready for those lines. Like, girl, you know, I feel like after a month you can kind of know where someone is, and then you should just train them for what they're going to do. Johnny, Win-Win, Yuta to a certain extent, like, you know that. Train them to harmonize. They might not be the best singers, but after 2 years, they should be able to run a marathon and harmonize with a freaking, like, cranking engine at the drop of a dime. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but you know what I mean. Like, they should be able to do that one music-related task after spending time in your care. Like, what are you doing as a company if these dudes can't even hear and go, okay, I can't harmonize because I'm not trained. I'm not a singer, but like, they should be able to do that at this point in time. Yeah, here we are. Hi, Lorenzo. I feel like pretty much every song on the Chain EP was a little higher up on the list for Korean version. Am I the only one who's disappointed in Run Back to You being bass bot and not Back to Part 2 mixed in with Running to You? Or wait, why do people call NCT flops? I'm reading through the comments. I'm catching up on the comments, actually. That's why I'm just looking at the screen. Lorenzo, I'm just talking about my grievances with how NCT is handled. Hon, you aren't freaking lying. You aren't lying. Cause, girl, that AAA award or whatever, that all you need is a Kakao account, a Twitter account, one other account. I've been voting on all of them, but like, who else? As far as I know, that's what American citizens can do. We're not. So Sebastian, that really was a classic. Like, and that's why Limitless reigns supreme, because it's like, that's the point of a boy group. If these dudes performed Limitless live, like, there's so many, like, I want to say it's an injustice that Limitless wasn't their, like, what, growl, but, like, you didn't perform live. Your styling, like, so, like, the impact is different. When Shiny performed Lucifer live, and you saw Jungkook's, like, vein... You stopped and you were still. Because, like, the impact of a crazy performance being 100% live is just different. So, you're forfeiting a whole lot of impact when you lip sync. And half the time your lip syncing isn't even that, like, that's what pisses me off even more. Like, the lip syncing isn't even that, like, premium. So it's like, I don't know, there's just so many times where I feel like I stan a dance crew that makes their own, like, music to dance to. Because, like, what else do you call it when you just have songs and you dance? I mean, it just sucks for NCT, really, because people won't just let them be great, I feel like. Because, like, they're all, like, even if BTS wasn't, like, doing astronomically well, if they aren't surpassing EXO, it's like, flops, failure. Why did SM even debut them? Like, so... Han, you get me! You get me! Like, I was... Okay, so I saw a tweet about, oh, we need to vote. Because it was like, and Citizen Union USA, oh, we need to vote. And it had like 1, 2, 3 retweets. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I was expecting us to be like 5th place, you know, 6th place, maybe like 8th place worse. We're freaking 18th. First of all, I didn't even know about it until like 2 days ago or yesterday. Like, I didn't know about it because all the citizens I follow, NCT as traffic vests, NCT as butt plugs, NCT as what, wall paint. Oh my gosh, Taeyong is gonna go and finna wear this bandana. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I hope no one is a I know your broke ass isn't buying any more copies. I know your broke ass isn't pre-ordering anymore. Like, I know you aren't. So like, why aren't we talking about this? This is something we can do as and citizens throughout the world. I have a Kakao account, I have a Twitter account, I have a Naver account, and I can vote 5 times a day on each, yet you're here, yet Brit, you exactly. Armies get things done, so like I can't even be mad. It's mad. Like that's why I'm consistently shocked at how many and citizens there are. Cause where it matters, Taeyong's a sub jokes. There's 15 of us. I'm like, girl. Literally, I haven't seen a single like NCT trending hashtag at all. But except for NCT needs better managers. Okay, cool, whatever. But like what does that actually do for NCT? Okay, it feeds further into the oh my gosh, abusive big K-pop companies down with the capitalist narratives. And then that's about it. So I need them to I'm so tired. I'm just tired of everyone. Yes, they did. They turned Cherry Bomb into freaking flat tummy tea and thought that was really some one well spent. And it's like, girl. Exactly. Like the organization isn't there. And I feel like we're in this really weird space where like the inheritance of stands isn't really like EXO isn't really that old of a group. Really? So not as many like XOL like there isn't a huge exodus to NCT to NCity yet. And it's just a general lack of hunger. Like, people want things, but they aren't really that hungry for it. And it's like, okay. Exactly. Like, I'm always, like, whenever they play at KCON, I'm like, literally 2017, not even this year, but like 2017, the entire stadium was singing Cherry Bomb, and it's like, like, oh my gosh, when they performed Whiplash, and they kind of sang like the, I wasn't even there, and it was electrifying. They're like, I don't know how big their fan base is, but this year, now that they have a light stick, a whole lot of that stadium or whatever was green. So it's surely big and it's surely big enough for a tour. Not even like a House of Blues tour, like a straight up tour. Like, they've been ready for that. Yet we're here sitting, waiting, and it's like, girl, the longer you wait, the bigger you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Because now, okay, now that you're a Jimmy Kimmel Live alum, you performed at Disney, only Korean West invited. Now you're putting the expectation on yourself to perform at certain venues, and it's like, girl. It's the weirdest thing. Like, it's so, and I guess it's weirder for me because I'm usually like the really laid back, doesn't care about anything, doesn't do anything. I barely buy the music stand. Yet, here I am, voting 15 whatever times a day. And we're in 18th place. We dropped in rank, like, we dropped in ranking. Like, who does that? Who does that? What? Ooh, yeah, NCT Latin America. I'm actually really interested. See, that's what I mean. Like, that's what makes NCT exciting. Like, you're getting all of these themes in like one collective, and like that's what I want to see. So I'm actually really interested in how they're going to do NCT Latin America or NCT whatever. I really wish NCT's doing Latin trap. For the long, I was really confused as to why they were calling it Latin trap when it, like, I knew for sure they weren't going to be singing in Spanish. I'm like, how is it Latin trap if it's not in Spanish? But from that snippet of the English version, not only is there some Spanish, it also sounds like Dinero by Jenny from the Block featuring DJ Khaled and Cardi B. I don't like that song, so we'll see how this fares. Huh? Wait, hon, has NCT Japan tour happened, or is it yet to happen? Like, the clock is on. Like, I don't want to speak anything evil into existence, but we need to be honest with ourselves. The clock is ticking. You only have but so much time to pop off. You can't, especially when you have a platform like debuting at SM Entertainment. Like, you only have but so much time before people are like, whatever. I'll catch it on shuffle. I'll let Spotify recommend it or whatever, but I'm not really, like... Okay, so the one that's coming up. Does that mean NCT could be coming during the summer when I'm actually able to go? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh, cool! Honestly, I know I'm repeating myself, but whatever, I'm an N citizen. It's on brand. That's why they should have had NCT 10. Because, like, the other reason I feel like 10 would have been a better candidate for the 10th member of 127 is he's part of that 2016 cohort. Like, people who've been following them since SM Rookie days are super familiar with 10. People who have been following them all of their debut year are super familiar with 10. People who were begging for Johnny to debut were super familiar with 10. So he's part of that 2016 gang. Like, he just fits with anyone who's been familiar with NCT literally up until the beginning of this year. 10 is part of that 127 cohort. So it just makes sense. It feels natural. It doesn't really feel like you're forcing a whole other theme into 127. It just feels like a natural, oh yeah, now he's officially part of the gang that he's sort of unofficially been part of in people's minds. Whereas Jungkook's addition elicits this sort of uncertainty to where you're feeling like, okay, so is every single Korean trainee going to end up in 127, or what are we doing? Where are we? What are we? Where do we go from here? So it was, yeah. The album doesn't drop until the 12th, I believe. It literally doesn't make. It's just, and I know, and this is going back to the SNSD thing. I feel like, and this even goes back to like EXO. I think their first time performing in the US, they only performed in like 2 really big venues. Cause I personally feel like SM doesn't want EXO to suffer the shame of performing in a medium venue when they're the one and only EXO. And it's like, girl, who cares? Thankfully, they don't, like, and this is why I say I'm really happy, like, SHINee was never really, like, that group, like, the ultimate #1, reigning supreme over every other idol boy group, because, like, there's so much pressure placed on it. So when they came to perform and it was, like, medium or whatever venues, it's, like, whatever, because... no, like, they don't really care about SHINee like that. They just want to collect their check and keep it pushing. So like you're free to just do what you do and keep it pushing. Whereas if you're supposed to be like the flagship group, the biggest blah blah blah, you're not going to do anything short of a stadium. And it's like, girl, or an arena. I don't remember the difference between the two, but you know what I mean. And it's like, no one cares. Honestly, I would have loved to see Jungkook in a group with the soon-to-graduate Dreamies and Lucas. And I feel really bad for like pushing this propaganda because I feel like I'm feeding this into people's minds that there could have been a better reality. We could have been experiencing a better reality. But like, it's just facts, of my opinion. Like, honestly, I mean, I'm not sure how it would play. Like, I honestly feel like SM should be very careful. I don't know if SM's strategy with XOM was to put Korean members. That way, it would be awkward for, like, the Chinese members to leave. Whatever. Or I guess leave as, like Shinhwa leave. Like, let's all, you know, all of us just dip. But I feel like, so I'm not sure how they're planning for China. I'm not sure if China is still the sort of place like you need to be in or you need to be out. So whoever debuts in China can't really promote in Korea or whatever. But I would really have liked to see maybe Kun and Jungkook and then Lucas and Jimin or, you know, whatever in a group. Wait, Jay, did you go to both concerts? This is Unicorn. I always used to say, Rolling in the Deep was SM's theme song. As soon as I got into K-pop and I found out about DB5K splitting, like, I was like, y'all could have had it all. And like that's the double-edged sword of SM. Like NCT within their within their 127, within their first year, they had a discography. They had a solid pop discography. At the same time, they turned their mini album into Flat Tummy Tea and like I mean, they really shouldn't have more than 10 members because, like, if you think about it logistically, it's going to be hard for them to promote internationally because it's the event holders who have to pay for their airfare. And not a whole lot of people are going to want to pay for 10 people plus all of their managers, plus all of their beauty and all of that, all of their queries. Like, even for 17, it's kind of a whole lot, even with them selling out. Honestly, I was thinking about like, is Win gonna be in 127 once China debuts? Because he don't even really be doing that much to be stressing himself out like that. Okay, but girl, Jungkook is literally, you literally have the same vocalist times three when a whole Haechan is there, and he sings live, which these other dudes don't. No offense, but honestly, 127 was already like complete with the fire truck lineup, and like Johnny obviously brings the Johnny stands, and then Do Young is like an extra tail, and it's like, okay, cool. I feel like Win would leave first just because like what is he doing? Girl. Not to be mean, but what would Johnny do if he did leave? Like, what does Johnny do aside from NCT Night Night and US interviews, if I'm being frank? Like, what do you do? Like, I love you, but what do you do? Like, you literally, like, yes, I'm going to allow you to keep that radio show. Can you sustain a YouTube channel if you move back to the US? Like, sit there and eat your food. NCT Dream, like I said, they're the future and the future is now. I mean, but like, what is there for him to do, like, outside of SM? I don't know, people are always like, oh my gosh, Johnny deserves so much better, but it's like, girl, what? Even the bit of singing that I have heard from him, it was like, you would sound great on Harmony. Like, and this isn't a diss. This is just honesty. Like, I feel like I'm a similar person as far as talent profile. Like, I'm good at a lot of things. Not excellent at any one in particular, but you know. And then coupled with consistently showing up on time and all of that stuff and like all of the work that you put in, that makes you a really good member of this team, and that enables you to build a certain reputation to where you can be your own personal brand or whatever, and you can continue on as a personality. You're a person people like to work with, blah, 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 blah. That only happens if you actually stick through and like show up and you follow through with whatever you're supposed to be doing at your job. So for a person like Johnny, I feel like he benefits from staying in an NCT because that shows he's loyal, he's hardworking, blah, 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 blah. And then he can just do whatever he wants once NCT slows down. I really can't stand y'all. Honestly, honestly, if they mess with 127 or OG7 Dream, it's on site. I don't know how a corporation can be on site, but how it can be on site with a corporation. My language faculties are kind of funky right now, but you know what I mean. I'm not mad about the lineup. It's just like I'm scared of what is to come if these are the decisions we're making. Cause like strategy is important. Cause like NCT's time is ticking. It's ticking away. You only have but so much time to start. So like you can't just be doing things anyhow and expect different results. Like I'm just SM makes me nervous. Like they fumbled a whole girls' generation. A whole girls' generation. Hurts my feelings. Like I'm just okay, I'm all over the place, but I don't care. If Pretty Much doesn't get their stuff together, like I said earlier, why are we releasing the song of the summer during homecoming season? 2, why aren't we in Germany? BTS is coming for Europe. You still have a month left, yet here you are with Song of the Summer near the end of homecoming season, and Germany's just wide open. Wide open for the taking. If Pretty Much lets NCT China get a foothold in Germany before they do, they deserve whatever they get, to be honest. Because literally, the last great American boy bands that y'all keep mentioning, as far as influences and all of this stuff, they popped off in Germany and then they came to the US. They didn't pop off in the US and then start going abroad. They went abroad, popped off, and then came here. Like, what are we doing? I mean, it it took me the longest time to start calling them Girls' Generation because I can during the SNSD era. What is this like single release theme? I don't understand that. I don't understand the efficacy of it. I'm not sure what it does. Hey, Shiny Baby Muse. Like what does that do? Because honestly, I've been suffering fatigue. It's the same thing with NCT 2018, but with NCT 2018 it makes sense because like were we really supposed to be rocking with Black on Black like that? I don't think so. Were we really going to support Baby Don't Stop as like a standalone theme that hard? Probably not. Like, okay, I get it. With pretty much, it just feels like, oh, we finished mixing a song. Let's jump in a studio for an hour and throw paint around. Put it out there. Like, girl, why don't we group the songs together? That way, if anyone isn't particularly a fan of this song, they have other songs to listen to on wax, not from freaking live recordings, on wax. Like, the whole, like, that would be really cute if we were also, like, making music, like, great music products as well. But, like, we have, like, what, 3 solid music videos? Would You Mind? No More. Summer on You. And it's like, Summer on You should have been the B-side to Solita. I don't care what anyone has to say. That's just facts on facts. Honestly, okay, so BTS is going for the Prep and Prime Europe. If NCT China doesn't go after Germany, what do you want me to do? Like, what? That's how I've been feeling this whole time. Even going back to that dude who was complaining because he doesn't understand how music works after working in the entertainment business probably his whole life. I can get your frustration. I can get what you want, your desires, your dreams, your hopes. But after a certain point, what do you want me to do? I can't help, like, Germany's right there. Literally knowing people freaking, I don't even, XOL showed out for freaking Jay Park. Do they really listen to Jay Park like that? No. But he's a Korean artist and he came to wherever they were. So there they were. So Europe in my head is still kind of in that 2013 space. Which, let me let you in on a little secret. BTS took full advantage of the barrenness, and they've been touring in the US basically since debut. Maybe not in 2013, but 2014 they were definitely in the US. Probably twice. Because I remember they came for KCON, and then I feel like they definitely went on, I feel like they went on a tour after that. But like, BTS has consistently been coming to the US. And like, that's not like the one magic secret ingredient to their success or whatever. But like, I feel like that's definitely part of it. And even other groups like GOT7 and VIX, which is kind of funny because VIX hasn't come to the US in a long time. But literally one of their first performances ever as a debut group was at a US anime convention. So like, a lot of the smaller groups who were hungry and couldn't just, oh, we're such and such company's newest group, so check us out, please, blah, blah, blah. A lot of the, like, smaller groups were, like, performing in the US from 2013, and a lot of US fans who probably didn't even really know who they were going to the shows because it was a K-pop theme and it was in their general vicinity. So yeah, BTS had quite a few like armies already just from like pre-debut slash debut, but then they also came to Houston, I believe, was it 2014 or 2013? Like their first tour, I believe, they came to Houston. So all the like even to this day, I go to like GOT7 shows, and like there are lots of shows that I go to simply because they're in Houston, not really because I'm particularly like excited or super like pumped. Not that I'm not pumped, but it's not like I really, 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 really wanted to see these people live and they just happen to be in my city. It's like I kind of want to see them and they're in Houston, so I'll go. So I feel like Europe is definitely still in that sort of space where people will go simply because you're in this general genre that they're interested in, and they don't have the anxiety of, oh my gosh, what if my faves are coming like 2 months after this and the tickets go on sale next week? Because a lot of, like, I know for me personally, I didn't go to GOT7, I didn't go to Monsta X. Like there's so many like concerts I'm not going to because like I am manifesting, I am speaking it into existence. NCT is coming on tour next year, and I am going to do whatever I need to do to be in their presence, as I rightly should. So I can't go to all of the K-pop concerts because I know that K-pop concerts are regular here now. Even if it's not for Houston, it's for Texas. So Europe isn't in that space yet. So a lot of people will show up for a show just to show up for a show. Man, okay. Real crackhead hours. I should stop saying that. I still haven't listened to GOT7's latest work. Oh my gosh, why am I stupid? Exactly. I did. I actually recorded a first listen for it, but I'm not sure when that's getting edited slash uploaded. So. XX. I don't know. I used to like volunteer for a lot of concerts, and like straight up, the main reason they used to choose Dallas more than Houston, or like they pretty much only like went to Dallas, is because, or at least the people that I talked to, well, I didn't really talk to them, but the people that the person I talked to basically said because they're like there's more of a Korean community. And even if like K-pop concert attendance doesn't necessarily directly have to do with the Korean community, it's still, I guess it just feels sort of easier to do things with the Korean community. So it might be something like that as to why they don't go to Florida. But then that begs the question, why don't you go to Atlanta? Because there are Koreans in LA. So I feel you on that, Sebastian. I don't think I'm going to the DPR concert. Because like I said, I'm saving for NCT. Girl, Tear was the R&B album. Jackson, like that's what I'm afraid of with Lucas, and that's what I kept myself from saying. I was like, I'm not mad at him having some presence on a song, but like I really don't want him to become a Jackson. Okay, I forgot my scissors, so. Okay. Back and ready for business. Girl, that was before he got odd and he started getting a taste of that solo yuan. Oh my gosh. I can't stand you, Akasha. I honestly don't want to know. I got me feeling like a puppy. He does. He's a great personality. like Jackson's, and that's why it's important to like know your lane or whatever, which is pretty rich of me to be saying because I have an opinion on everything. Yet here I am. Yes, I do. Any of the natural hair people out there, do you ever just feel your hair and you're like, wow, that's a lot of hair? And like, it's not, but it's just, I have to do this. Like, like, I told y'all my theory about why they're pushing it back for so long. But at the same time, I don't, and it's like weird, like you can like from the beginning I could tell like NCT is supposed to be the next EXO or whatever. And it's like, girl, if we wanted EXO, we would just want EXO, like make something different. And NCT is different. They have distinguished themselves from EXO, but it's so like first of all, that's a whole lot of pressure for NCT to perform in a completely, well, not a completely different K-pop landscape, but an arguably significantly changing K-pop landscape. And then I feel like that's prematurely like deading EXO. Like she, actually not like she said, but she liked a comment that said, ooh, Nikki getting that Korean coin or whatever. So I feel like BTS's check cleared and she did what she does, which is drop an awesome feature. I thought it was a really good feature. The one thing that's been getting me is people, some armies like quoting "You'll never be next in line" under like Monsta X and NCT themes. It's like, girl, chill. Like I said the last time, Idol probably would have popped off. Oh, it would have popped so much more severely if it had a whole bunch of actual African involvement. But it didn't, so it sounded like FIFA. It was doing too much and also nothing at the same time. FIFA. Just like Coco Bop. Like, Coco Bop could have been seminal work if they actually worked with actual Jamaican reggae musicians, producers, songwriters, whatever. If that's what you're going for, go for it. Like, you have the resources. Why aren't you using them? For some reason, and trust and believe, I'm going to have the same thing to say for NCT if regular just sounds super regular. Cause like, girl, why didn't you get in contact with a Latin trap producer if that's what you're going for? If you want to do trap with like a heavy Latin sample or whatever, why don't you get in contact with those producers and get a beat? Like, cause that's why Cherry Bomb popped so severely, because you wanted a Kendrick Lamar type beat and you went and got one from a Kendrick Lamar type producer. You didn't go to some random dude who's like on the payroll of whichever like publishing house or whatever it is, whatever it's called for music, and hey, we want a Kendrick Lamar type beat, and then you get a Kendrick Lamar type beat from like some random pop writer, producer, person. You went to the source and you got that, and then you SMified it, and you had magic on your hands. I mean, if you think about it, if like EXO came back around when we thought they would have come back, they would have lost to BTS with Idol. So, and theoretically they could have come back now as well, but the war had some the war has some fun songs. I'll say that. No, they definitely do. But it would have been cool if they worked with like South African people for a South African inspired song. That way it's you know what? They should have done a reggae song with like real deal reggae producers. I feel like they could have come up with something really awesome, really interesting. But no, they just got some reggae inspired based whatever song from some random white American girl who she didn't even say baby. She said baby. It goes down, down, baby. Like if that's how you're singing on a reggae track, that you're automatically disqualified as far as I'm concerned. But no, evidently SM thought let's put an EDM breakdown right before the chorus. That'll yeah. SM just doesn't like EXO. That's what I've decided. Like EXO just wasn't. They weren't meant to win to the level that they were meant to. If that makes any sense. I know it doesn't technically, but hopefully you understand what I mean. Like I said in the last live, I'm not sure how many of you were there when I said it, but like I feel like Idol would have like shaken me and I just would have been like blown out of the water if they had worked with like a South African producer. They had some sort of African designer design their suits. They featured like a young African artist, because there's so many now, in a way that there weren't like when I was a little kid, who could like kind of talk about their kind of point of view as a very new kind of, I guess, African star. Well, maybe not for all of Africa, but I know for Nigeria, like this crop of like Wizkid and Davido and all of them, that's actually pretty new for Nigeria. Like people didn't really used to do like popular kind of music like that before, especially so young, because they started out like 18, 20, which is super young in our society to be doing something outside of school. And like if you have the resources to be doing music the way that they do music, you're supposed to become a lawyer, become a doctor, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I thought it would have been, like, to me, it would have been really cool if they linked up with like an African artist and like they could talk about their views as like an African millennial and how they feel as an African superstar or whatever, and all of the societal expectations of African youth. Because I know even in Nigeria recently, like, I'm not sure who it was, but some politician was saying, oh, the youth are just lazy, but like the unemployment rate for young people is ridiculous. And then if your parents aren't, you know, XYZ people, then it's even more astronomical. So like that sort of like there are other I feel like there are other people who could have like brought out that element of BTS on Idol even more as opposed to just like Nicki Minaj. Like Nicki Minaj is cool, but like it would have been cooler to see them make it a truly like collaborative project with African artists and like show Africa as a place where you can do like Africa as a place that's more than just where you build schools and hospitals and donate charity to, but like it's also full of like young people with promise and talent and all of these different things. Okay, I'm catching up on comments again because I was just ranting. Blackpink is another one of those cases of your company's just not hungry. They're not hungry, and they're just not hungry. Like, honestly, 21 could have performed at the Super Bowl. You can take me to court for saying it, but they could have performed at the Super Bowl if YG was in it to win it. But here we are. Three, two, one. Just say it. And that's another thing that annoys me whenever people act like standing a big three, like a group from the big three, is so easy or whatever. Like, yes, it has absolute perks. Like, if NCT was from any other company, they probably would have disbanded or something. If they were going for the sort of quality they put out, as well as the like magnitude of the project, and citizens were this freaking lazy, like that. I mean, the entire company's budget probably would have been spent on the cherry bomb beat. Let's be real here. Maybe, but like honestly, I know for me the reason I like NCT so much is because of their music. Would they be able to consistently buy all the music that they have if they were from a smaller company? Honestly, Luna says yes, but like they would have to gather a lot of investors in a way that like SM just kind of has. They don't need better lyricists. They need to buy new music. Buy Blackpink music. Buy Blackpink music. iKON did not work 15 years into their debut in Japan non-stop for you not to be able to buy Blackpink at least one solid mini album of music. Please. I mean, okay, I don't know how long y'all have been into Cape, but I remember like Who's Next or whatever, the survival show for Winner and iKON. It was like, okay, blah blah blah, everyone's talking about Bobby, everyone's talking about this, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't watch survival shows in real time because that's too much stress. I'm already anxiety prone. I love myself too much for that. So I was waiting until the show ends because, you know, once the show ends, they're gonna debut and then they'll rest. If you don't like that, they'll have a comeback. Tell me why, first of all, it took them like 2 years to actually debut after the show finished. The debut sounded like, okay, My Type was boring. I found that boring. Rhythm Ta was, that wasn't just Big Bang trash. That was debut Big Bang trash. Like even 2007 Big Bang wouldn't release that. So why would you what? Why? 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 Anyway, then they had another song. I also found that boring, but it's like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll wait for the comeback. These dudes moved to Japan. Like, they moved to Japan. Working. To put food on their family's table. Keep the lights on. Because Big Bang is... they're slowing down. Not a whole lot, but, you know, someone needs to come after them. And it's like, girl, we get that Japan is a lot of money, but you're wasting a lot of valuable time. Like, a lot of valuable time. Because people are paying attention to your group. Now is the time to cement the next generation of your legacy, not make money. You can make the money once there's, like, impact, position, influence, all of that is solidified. You can make all the money you want later on. Right now, you need to focus on solidifying the next generation of your legacy. But no, we had to wait until 2018 for them to have another monster hit. Like, I really don't, like, why'd you just, Like, I just don't understand how you fumble that. Okay, your one group that solidified your status as Big Three is going to go into extended hiatus. They're going to start enlisting, blah, 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 blah. Even if they aren't enlisting, they're just taking breaks or whatever. Cool. So you need to have your next generation ready. You have two groups. You have two groups. How do you fumble the... How do you consistently fumble the ball? Like, even if they're like... Even if it's what Icon wanted to do, you as the company, you as the management, shouldn't you have the foresight to say, yo, this is your time to really make a name for yourselves, solidify yourselves. Right now, you're supposed to be the next big bang. Make people understand that you're the first icon. Like, where was... No, we have yen to make. Girl... Luna said Bobby sounds like a Walgreens DMX. Shine will forever be my 2018 song of the year. It's currently song of the fall. I believe it's what we call a hit that sticks like grits, and I stand by my statement. I'm actually guilty of saying Bobby's ugly cute, so I can't even be that mad. I feel so mean for saying it, but like I'm low-key waiting for 101 to disband. That way I can deal with like permanent matters. Oh, hey Daniel. Nothing much. I was just, if you watch my like previous attempts at streaming tonight, I was saying NCT is canceled, but I really meant N-Citizens are canceled because of that one girl who took it upon herself to make sure people are aware of the song that one of the like new songs came from, insinuating plagiarism instead of just like, I don't know, emailing somebody. Or maybe just even Googling the song and realizing, hey girl, it doesn't even belong to that person, so... Do 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 do. Boo doo boo doo doo. Boo doo boo boo doo boo boo doo boo boo. Very, very, very was the third gen's G. You can be mad, but that doesn't change the facts. I'm honestly double-minded about 101. Since I don't really care, like, I don't really care. So, I kind of get fans who want it to last a little bit longer. But as someone, like, who tries to keep abreast of the K-pop scene, I'm just like, girl. Girl. I mean, on one hand, I'm sad that that was their last song, but on the other hand, I'm kind of happy because they left off on a legendary note. I don't know any Shiny choreo because I can't dance, so here we are. Oh my gosh, Seamless Lights. I haven't been keeping up with anything, actually. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Natural hair is literally so much. Like, it's so much. I want you pick me up, pick me, pick me. Who is 9%? Ah! Oh, this smells like grease. Okay, I feel like y'all would know. Do you guys know anything about Brazilian Chinese trainee from SM? There's a girl who is her name Lucia or something like that. She was on the like girl like Produce 101 Girls China. Yes! Chris, you know who I'm talking about. If she is an AME, I'm already standing. I'm already standing because first of all, she has like a really interesting look. I know that's shallow, but whatever. Second, she can sing. Like I'm not quite sure if she's Luna level, but like she already has time. So are they going to be White Fox or AME? Are you with me? AME. Because if their name's AME, I'm already buying. Like, first of all, if their name's AME, then their light stick needs to be. I should really just cut this off. Their light stick needs to be like a church fan and like stained glass. Oh my gosh. I'm so annoyed. I heard it was AME because it's basically like a female NCT except they aren't interchangeable. Like, but like I'm not sure if that's exactly what they're supposed to be, but like essentially the way the one post I read about it was describing them, it like stood for something and it was like, yeah, they're experimental, they do all of this stuff, and it's like, that sounds right up my alley. So it was literally like one post when I was just jumping down a hole. We should be called the congregation. Or brothers and sisters. If their name ends up being AME, you heard it here first, even though I don't even remember where I heard it from. I still haven't watched any G-Idol things. I'm honestly a relic of the past. I still haven't watched any G-Idol themes, so... Honestly, SM, can you come up with something else? Because, like, people are going to get confused if you have more than one longitude or whatever subunit name. So, they're just gonna have to come up with something else. Isn't that like their second one? Hey, Haley. I feel like a mixed group is just super hard to handle, and like SM can barely handle. I mean, they aren't barely when you like just strip them down to their actual like comebacks, the costuming. But like if you just strip it down to like the actual work that they put out, it's great. But how they handle things, like I don't trust them with a co-ed group at all. And then SM SM Sasangs with a going way too deep in it. Honestly, why am I being so particular with my spacing at the back when no one's going to see it? It's not that deep. This is why I stopped the first time. I need to just twist this stuff up and go to sleep. Still my number one. Exactly. Aid? That's not funny, but... Wait, what did Cube do again? I can't believe Cube's just gonna let... What's it called? CLC die in a ditch. Crystal clear. Cheshire. Ooh. Okay. That was weird. Whatever. Oh gosh, this is gonna be weird. Yeah, which is like, that's so dumb. But then they could literally have 3 pop-in groups. Hey, wait a minute. I haven't really listened to Black Dress. TBH. I was just like, Cube could honestly, I was thinking back to like 2014-ish SM Entertainment. Like, technically speaking, they had SNSD, FX, and they were debuting Red Velvet along with EXO, Super Junior, and Shiny. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of acts. And like, Cube could be operating at that capacity, possibly. I don't know their finances or whatever. But like, I feel like they're refusing to even have that possibility. And it's like, okay, girl. Who is Around Us Entertainment? I mean, yes, it is. But realistically speaking, that was kind of SM's fault. But honestly, in my head, everything is SM's fault, so yeah. Oh! Oh, girl, I remember. I hated Red Velvet from the very mention of their upcoming debut. Like, I was like, oh, so we're doing FX like that now? Yet here I am. Like, I did not want to like them at all. But then I watched them at one of the year-end shows, and Wendy says, "Shine on me, let it shine on me." Yeah. I said, points were made. Points were made. Okay. Yeah, we go. But at the same time, okay, but didn't we get 4 Walls the same year that we got, what's it called? Dum Dum? Okay, that's a bit more up to speed. Yeah, Yuri debuted way later. 2015 was 3rd Gen's 2008. You can thank me later. Video coming up sometime this year. Am I bad? Like, I'm honestly not that shaken by, like, member departures, depending. So, like, I really, really, really would have been gung-ho for an F3 comeback, debut, whatever you want to call it. But here we are. Because I actually wasn't into K-pop 2008, but 2008 stuff is what got me into K-pop. And that's what I hear a lot about View, and I Need You and all of that stuff. Yeah, but Jisung was part of like a youth group, that sounds funny. But Jisung's part of a group whose like youth was their central concept. And like Taemin to a certain extent as well. But like Yeri was like super young. And in the song she debuted about it, they were literally asking for some of that ice cream cake. Like Red Velvet's general concept is kind of teetering between sweet and sultry at any given time. So it's kind of awkward for a 16-year-old girl to do that. Oh my gosh, let's do this, guys. Let's do this. I mean, I'm not too, like, I kind of gave up on the concept of like an NCT unit for each region after they debuted 127 in Japan. I was like, oh, happiness. Are you happy? I mean, I didn't realize how great of a like I knew it was a good performance, but I didn't even remember it was a remix. Just cuz like like I just remembered my impression afterwards. I was like, "Yes, they did that." Like I remembered having that impression. But I guess standing in 2018 with 2018 standards, I didn't realize what wow, they really did that meant in 2012. Cuz like I had no idea it was a remix. I did not remember that it was a remix. I did not remember that they sang all the way live with Miss Backtrack, but still live. Like it's truly tragic.